Well, welcome everybody. My name's Donna and I have the pleasure of taking us all around communion today. Before we get started, if you can just get some emblems ready, something to represent the blood and something to represent the bread. Now I'm going to start today, we're going to be looking in the book of Judges, chapter 17, and we'll be starting at verse 3. And it says, "And his mother said, I wholly dedicate the silver to the Lord, to make a graven image and a molten image." And then in verse 5 it says, "And the man Micah had a shrine, and he made an ephod and household idols, and consecrated one of his sons that he might become his priest." And then in verse 6 it says, "In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did what was right in his own eyes." Now this interesting thing is this mother, she thought she was doing what she was doing to the Lord. She was dedicating this silver to the Lord and got someone to make graven images out of that. And then the son, he had household idols, he had an ephod, and he even dedicated his own son to be a priest. And this was all against what God had said was the way to worship him. And why did this happen? Because there was no king in Israel. Every man was doing what he thought was the right thing to do. And we see that happening today. People just doing what they think is right. They have crystals, they have singing things, they have like amulets, all sorts of stuff that have been blessed by shamans, all sorts of things that they use because there's no king. There's no king in their life. But Jesus came. He came to be both Christ and Lord, to be the King and to be the Master and Ruler, our Saviour. And in his action on the cross and his resurrection, he brought us into the kingdom, and he is the King, and he's the King of our lives. And the King's role was to point the way to worship the God of Almighty, the King above all kings. Just like David did when he was king of Israel, he showed the people how to worship God. Jesus has shown us how to worship God, and he has brought us into relationship with our God through his action on the cross and in his resurrection. And now we don't do what seems right in our own eyes, because there's a king in our hearts, because there's a king in our lives, and he shows us the truth. He shows us how to worship in spirit and truth, and he is the way, the truth, and the life. And we just want to thank the Lord for this wonderful thing that he has done for us. Let's just pray. Lord, I just thank you so much that you went to the cross and you died and you rose again, Lord, to be king over our lives, to bring us into your kingdom so that we could know how to worship you in the right way. We could know how to worship you in spirit and in truth. And we bless your wonderful name, Lord. Let's just eat and drink together. Be blessed and have a wonderful day.